This morning, the music world is remembering grunge rock pioneer Chris Cornell.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the most haunting songs written by musicians who knew they didn't have much time left.
Girl, you gotta love your man.
Number 20, When I Get to Heaven, John Prine.
When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand, thank Him for more blessings than one man can stand.
It's only fitting that one of the most significant lyricists of his time would process his own fate through song. John Prine's health had been devastated by recurring fights with cancer when he wrote When I Get to Heaven as a unique approach to death.
Buddy, when you're dead, you're a dead peckerhead. I hope to prove him wrong. That is, when I get to heaven.
He lays out his plans for the afterlife, from visiting his deceased relatives to forgiving those who've wronged him, even his critics. He even envisions indulging in vices he could no longer enjoy, like his signature cocktail.
And then I'm going to get a cocktail, vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigarette that's 9 miles long.
The witty, heartfelt lyrics and cheery acoustic instrumental make the morbid reality feel more like going home. Though it wasn't the last piece Prine recorded before his passing from coronavirus in 2020, it's the first to acknowledge and accept the inevitable.
Tonight, Bruce Springsteen tweeting, "He was a true national treasure and a songwriter for the ages. We send our love and prayers to his family."
Number 19, Ain't It Fun? Rocket from the Tombs.
Ain't it fun when you're always on the run?
One of punk rock's earliest songsmiths was also one of its first victims. Rocket from the Tombs frontman Peter Loeffner co-wrote Ain't It Fun just before the band split in 1975. The lyrics expressed disillusionment with the toxic rocker lifestyle that Loeffner publicly admitted ensnared him. One crucial line is,
Ain't it fun when you know that you're gonna die young? It's such fun.
2 years later, Loeffner succumbed to acute pancreatitis at the age of 24, despite warnings about his excessive drinking and substance use. Rocket from the Tombs wouldn't record Ain't It Fun in the studio until their 2003 reunion.
Ain't it fun when you know that you're gonna die young? It's such fun.
After co-writer Gene O'Connor debuted the song with Dead Boys in '78, many bands covered it in tribute to an artist who understood the stranglehold of drug culture.
Just stuck it way too deep in something that really stung. Ain't it fun?
Number 18, I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive. Hank Williams with his Drifting Cowboys.
Now you're looking at a man that's getting kinda mad. I had a lot to look, but it's all been bad.
His fame couldn't help him escape reality. Country music star Hank Williams struggled with spina bifida occulta, a back condition. He developed a dependency on substances to self-medicate his immense pain, ostensibly contributing to his heart failure in 1953. This recontextualizes his final single, I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, which appears to be about a person experiencing a streak of horrible luck.
I'm not gonna worry wrinkles in my brow, 'cause nothing's ever gonna be alright no how.
Following Williams's death, it can be interpreted as a man coping with his chronic illness and substance use disorder through cynical humor. It's hard to say if Williams knew he'd die following its release, but considering the downtrodden message and the physically draining recording experience, it's easy to assume that the thought was on his mind.
No matter how I struggle and strive, I'll never get out of this world alive.
Number 17, My Only True Friend, Greg Allman.
You and I both know this river will surely flow to an end.
It's easy to assume that this heartfelt track is merely the singer's way of reflecting on his life. Given that Gregg Allman passed away from cancer less than a year after recording My Only True Friend, that meaning does serve as one interpretation. The repeated pleas for his music to be remembered and the acknowledgement of his slowly approaching end only contribute to it.
I can't bear to think this might be the end.
However, there's more than meets the eye. The song's made even more poignant by it having been covertly written from the perspective of his deceased brother and longtime musical partner, Duane.
After Duane died in a motorcycle crash in 1971, Gregg kept the band together.
This takes the song's emotion to an even higher level, transforming it from a plea for legacy to a final message between siblings before reuniting.
You and I both know the road is my only true friend.
Number 16, You Never Knew My Mind, Chris Cornell.
I know you feel the way I change.
Considering Johnny Cash's haunting cover of Nine Inch Nails before his own passing, it's fitting that his work would be used similarly.
But you can't change the way I feel.
Chris Cornell adapted two of Cash's unreleased poems, You Never Knew My Mind and I Never Knew Your Mind, into one song for a tribute album. The lyrics are about a crumbling relationship.
Yeah, sitting on the steps of a cabin that he built just to get away from it all is surreal. I haven't even processed it yet.
But after Cornell took his own life, before the single's release, it took on a much darker connotation.
You never really knew my mind.
When he sings about fleeting good times, signs not being recognized, or how his feelings were never truly known, it's as though he's addressing the listener. It takes an already bittersweet piece and makes it more heartbreaking. And the fact that it was one of his final recordings makes it doubly so.
I never really knew your mind.
Number 15, Riders on the Storm, The Doors.
Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown.
Though the rest of the band would sporadically create and release music afterwards, this signaled the end of their time with frontman Jim Morrison. Riders on the Storm was the last track The Doors created before he made his final trip to Paris and died of an apparent overdose.
Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone, riders on the storm.
The song is already melancholy with soft vocals and a moody, introspective instrumental. The news of his demise painted it in a new light, displaying the final message of a tortured soul. The third verse in particular is haunting, as Morrison pleads with his partner to stay by his side and love him.
The world on you depends, our life will never end. Gotta love your man.
Coincidentally, his last words to his lover Pamela Corson would be, "Pam, are you still there?"
His manager said Morrison died 6 days ago in Paris, either of a heart attack or pneumonia, but the death was kept secret to avoid a sensation. He was buried in Paris in the same cemetery where Balzac and other French immortals lie.
Number 14, You Know You're Right, Nirvana.
I will never bother you. I will never promise to.
Unlike some other songs on this list, the context behind this one is immediately noticeable. Released 8 years after Kurt Cobain tragically took his own life, You Know You're Right offers a blunt look into his dwindling mental health.
Now I speak a word again. I will crawl away for good. I will move away from here.
It's clear that he knew the way he would pass, from the cathartically wailed chorus lamenting his own pain to feelings of his own perceived failure, the promises to disappear for good, and that he knew things would end like this comes across as desperate cries for help.
I always know to come like this. Things have never been so swell. I have never felt that well.
Cobain died just a few months after recording the song, and it was shelved for years afterwards.
Kurt Cobain's body was found inside a garage apartment adjacent to his Seattle home. He was among the most powerful voices of his generation, an originator of a music style and fashion called grunge.
It wasn't until 2002 that his fans could hear just how much he'd been struggling. Number 13, Gone with the Wind, Architects. Context can be a powerful tool when perceiving art. When the Architects first released Gone with the Wind in April of 2016, it seemed like a standard, well-written, sad song. The pieces started to come together when the band's guitarist Tom Searle succumbed to cancer. Just 4 months later, suddenly, the lyrics referencing an incurable sickness, attempting to embrace the reality of death and realizing it may have all been for nothing felt more personal.
A sickness with no remedy except the ones inside of me.
Searle's diagnosis hadn't been made known during its initial release, causing the track's true meaning to fly under the radar.
In terms of lyrically, I mean, at that point, there was nothing else I could write about. That was the most pressing thing in my life. You know, when you lose someone close to you like that, there is nothing else, you know.
Now, it's impossible to listen to without hearing his struggles, to accept his impending demise.
I remember when you said to me, my friend, I'll bet you pleasant.
Number 12, Requiem, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Come, let's begin.
We ended in F major.
Yes?
So now, A minor.
Though not intended to be about his own demise, Mozart's final masterpiece is now permanently associated with it. He was tasked with writing a dirge to honor a client's deceased spouse. He'd struggled with his health throughout his life, which worsened while working on Requiem. He was only able to complete the first movement, Introitus, before passing. He drafted the lyrics, including pleas for himself and other lost souls, and musings over how he'd be judged in the afterlife. Though they make sense considering the commission, it's easy to imagine them becoming more personal. Other composers have completed the symphony, and while it's still beautiful, there's no telling how haunting it could have been had Mozart seen his vision through to the end.
Good. Show me the whole thing from the beginning.
Number 11, Memory Lane, Minnie Riperton.
I stumbled on this photograph. It kind of made me laugh. It took me way back.
It's tragic when a star is cut down in their prime. A year after her initial peak in 1975, Minnie Riperton was diagnosed with late-stage breast cancer and given months to live. She got into the studio and recorded her final album, with the standout being Memory Lane.
I thought I had forgot the past, and now I'm slipping fast. Oh, back down memory lane.
It starts with her reflecting on her life, then devolves into her insisting that she isn't ready to go and pleading to be saved from her health and anxieties. Unlike other Swan songs that accept the inevitable, this one acknowledges the fear that comes with knowing your fate is just around the corner.
Save me,
Ripperton passed away shortly thereafter, leaving behind a raw dirge that's sure to impact listeners for generations to come.
Memory lane. Whoa.
Number 10. Last Donut of the Night, Jay Dilla. While most would choose to say goodbye with lyrics, renowned producer Jay Dilla did so through production alone. After experiencing difficulties with lupus and thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura, he was eventually hospitalized.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Knowing the end was near, he worked on his last album from his medical ward. Last Donut of the Night is the penultimate track, serving as the emotional climax.
I give to you.
While there are no words, he conveyed his thoughts on mortality through complex beats and melodies. It sparked discussion within his fandom, with some even finding symbolism pertaining to death in the official fan-made video. It was a fitting conclusion to his respected career, one that ensured he won't be forgotten anytime soon. Number 9. I'm Not Gonna Miss You, Glen Campbell. You may think that most songs about one's end would be bleak and gloomy, but some have a wildly different tone. Glen Campbell was a beloved figure, and his final contribution cemented his legacy.
You're the last person I will love.
After learning he had Alzheimer's disease, he knew that the clock was ticking. This led to him recording one more tune, I'm Not Gonna Miss You. The message is irreverent and blunt, referencing his illness and the memories it took from him.
All the things I say or do.
His outlook was realistic, even stating that while people would be sad, he wouldn't be able to care due to his disorder. The dark humor was the perfect way of approaching the unfortunate situation, closing out his life and vocation with acclaim.
I'm not gonna miss you.
Number 8. Don't Worry About Me, Joey Ramone. Even if a piece isn't necessarily about the creator's impending fate, some can be recontextualized to have that meaning post-death.
Joey Ramone, the lead singer of the band The Ramones, had only just started his solo venture when complications with lymphoma began to arise.
I want you, baby, but you always lie.
He kept the diagnosis secret until just before he died, shocking people across the nation. This led them to look at his posthumous debut in a new light, particularly the titular track, Don't Worry About Me.
I gotta get away.
While it could have been interpreted to be about a failing relationship, some read between the lines and saw it as his farewell to his supporters. The result was haunting, making listeners wonder what could have been had he had more time.
Don't worry about me.
Number 7. When the Sky Comes Looking for You, Motorhead. Sometimes the inclusion of despondent themes can seem purely coincidental, but end up carrying new weight after a tragedy. Motorhead, and more specifically its frontman Lemmy, were widely beloved in the rock scene. Their last project was created and published just before Lemmy died in 2015, with none of the members even being aware that their time with their bandmate was coming to a close. His passing gave new meaning to When the Sky Comes Looking for You. The deceptively upbeat number wasn't about Lemmy in particular, but the lines questioning what would one do when faced with their own undoing were suddenly much more pertinent than they originally had been. The newly derived meaning helped provide some closure for his grieving fan base.
Gonna be bad
Number 6. Keep Me in Your Heart, Warren Zevon. For some musicians, an unwelcome medical discovery is all the motivation they need to get their parting words out. Warren Zevon was an accomplished singer who recorded his endmost work after learning he had an inoperable form of mesothelioma.
If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less.
The saxophone-backed Please Stay was his plea for his family to support him as he fearfully faced oblivion.
Will you stay with me till the end?
Things became even clearer once Keep Me in Your Heart began.
Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile.
It's even more somber, this time asking people to think of him as they continued living, even during simpler moments. It celebrated the little things that made living great, while acknowledging he wouldn't be able to enjoy them much longer.
It was the last thing he ever created, bidding adieu to those who loved him.
Keep me in your heart for a while.
Number 5. Stuck Inside a Cloud, George Harrison. Whether with the Beatles or on his own, his dedication to his art was unparalleled. In the early aughts, it was revealed that George Harrison's cancer had returned. This caused him to dedicate his remaining energy to Brainwashed, his first full-length solo output since 1987.
Only I can hear me, I'm stuck inside a cloud.
His escalating sickness led to him teaming up with his son to finally finish it. While Stuck Inside a Cloud doesn't mention his ailment, it does allude to his own contemplations about his existence.
I lost my will to eat.
Some lyrics even point to him potentially losing sleep and not eating due to his thoughts, which could be construed to be about his prognosis. Although the meaning isn't certain, it ended up being a touching way to end his career. Number 4. You Want It Darker, Leonard Cohen. He's one of the poster children of melancholic music, making it no surprise when his conclusive composition referenced his own demise.
It was released just before he fell and passed away in his home, after several months of physical deterioration.
Burning for the help that never came. You want it darker.
His declining health encouraged him to finish his final record. Some tunes, like Leaving the Table, acknowledged his condition and the feelings that came with accepting death.
There's no one left to blame. I'm leaving the table.
The true piece de resistance was the opener, You Want It Darker, where he references his religious roots by questioning God. It's particularly accusatory, with Cohen interrogating the deity while admitting he was ready to join it. It closed out his body of work perfectly, committing to the gloomy lyricism that defined him.
If thine is the glory, mine must be the shame. You want it darker.
Number 3. Mother Love, Queen. Freddie Mercury defined the word icon. Known for his extraordinary voice, Mercury helped lead Queen to its great heights. After contracting HIV, he knew that his time would run out, motivating him to take to the studio. His work included anthems that showcased his unwavering dedication, such as The Show Must Go On. Others, like These Are the Days of Our Lives, recalled simpler moments that were lost to time.
These are all gone now, but some things remain.
The most gut-wrenching was Mother Love, which he never got to finish.
All I want is the comfort and care.
Besides the lyrics longing for peace and references to the pain he was experiencing, the instrumentals include bits of every piece they made, creating a heartbreaking tribute to one of music's most beloved performers.
As the sun goes down, I'm coming home to my sweet.
Number 2. Hurt, Johnny Cash. Although he didn't write it himself, Johnny Cash gave the song an entirely new meaning. After a long, successful career, Johnny Cash saw the end approaching.
I hurt myself today.
After a litany of issues with his well-being, the writing was on the wall, resulting in his decision to cover 9 Inch Nails' Hurt. He took the already bleak premise and transformed it into a tortured self-reflection of a man looking back on his complicated life and the choices he made.
What have I become? My sweetest friend.
The accompanying video added to the vision, showing Cash surrounded by things in different phases of deterioration. Using his wife's memory as inspiration, he was able to take his remaining days and use them to create one of the most respected covers in the modern era.
I will make you hurt.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lazarus, David Bowie. Having the chance to say goodbye is a privilege that not all artists get to enjoy. David Bowie seemed to know that, and therefore constructed a song that put both his creativity and emotional intelligence on display.
I'm in danger. I've got nothing left to lose.
After being diagnosed with liver cancer, he kept the news under wraps while quietly working on his last release. The crowning achievement of his final days was Lazarus, the last single he ever created.
You know I'll be free.
It's a direct reference to his own expiration, while also serving as a personal elegy. With it, Bowie forced the world to reckon with the fact that it would soon be losing a star. And while it softened the blow, people still weren't prepared for his demise less than a month afterwards.
Ain't that just like me?
What Swan songs do you think packs the hardest emotional punch? Let us know in the comments below.
It's